What's up YouTubers, Aldo O'Shea back with a brand new video for you here. First off, welcome back. Great to see everyone. For those in Scotland, I hope you've been enjoying the heat wave that we're having the last couple of days. Me being a teddy bear sized man, not so much, but it's great to have a little bit more summer than we normally do. So anyway, honestly guys, we're here now. We are finally in chapter 1 of my World Heavyweight Championship Replica collection, as I call it, my Triple H collection. Now, people that don't know the reason why I call it, a lot of people do know why I call it. The reason why I call it my Triple H collection is a lot like how I've given my other replicas nicknames, with it being the likes of the mid-card championship I called my Workhorse collection, my tag team replicas I called the Dudley Boy collection. So with my world heavyweight replicas, I call them the Triple H collection, because anybody that saw any WWF, WWE documentaries over the last decade or so, while Triple H has been behind the scenes in the office, I have saw, or at least we've saw, Triple H have every incantation of the WWE, the WWF, WWE, WWF, basically the main company, the company's main belt, behind him on his wall. And he even has a version of his big gold that he won when he first went into his office. So I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. Triple H is a fan first and foremost, okay? And I think that's what we saw in his office, is like a nice little tribute to every incantation of the WWF WWE Championship, where it's the first one that was won by Buddy Rogers, then Bruno Sammartino, the mixed bag design belt that had a couple of straps on it, the one that Bob Backlund, Pedro Morales, Superstar Billy Graham won, the green belt won by Bob Backlund, the Iron Sheik, and of course the immortal Hulk Hogan. And I think that is absolutely fantastic that Triple H is a fan like that. If anybody has seen his updated office in new WWE headquarters, he has got every single belt that either he's won. He's got incantations of the WWF WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and several little Easter egg belts. I mean, when you're in that position in the company, you can go into the archives, I dare say, and say, I'm having this belt for my office, you know. But anyway, the reason why we're doing this today is because this video is also a little tribute to a certain wrestler that we've lost a couple of weeks ago. The two belts that I'm going to start this series on is when Hulk Hogan won them. So Hulk Hogan has had both these versions of the WWF Championship and the WCW Championship. So I'm going to show you guys what they are right now. They are the Winged Eagle, the F version, and the WCW version. This version is from figures of 2006. It still has the F on it. This version is 1999, so it's just got the WCW. It's not got the logo or anything like that. It's just got the WCW name on the back. But everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows what this is. So I've got both Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage merchandise on today. Of course, with my Randy Savage glasses I'm wearing right now. So this chapter 1 is actually a tribute to both the Mega Powers, because the Mega Powers both held these belts respectively over different periods of time. Hulk Hogan famously being the first five-time WWF WWE champion. Randy Savage winning it 2 times. Hulk Hogan winning the WCW championship 6 times, and I believe Randy Savage was 4 times. So that's what this video is going to be about today. It's going to be about the Winged Eagle and the WCW. Now, as for the Winged Eagle, those that don't know, this is actually, a lot of people would turn around and say that this is the best looking replica, the best looking version of the WWF WWE Championship that they ever produced. Me personally, I have a little bit more love for the Big Eagle, but I can certainly understand why they do. I mean, the belt itself is absolutely lovely. From the side plates to the main plate with the eagle. If I open it up, those that are wondering, that's the Undertaker's signature on there. But yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful looking belt. Those that don't know or know their wrestling history, this came out in I want to say the early start of 1988. Hulk Hogan had the championship that he was, the version of the championship that he was wearing in '87 when he faced Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, and then come a special edition of Saturday Night's Main Event in February, he came out sporting this. So it went from Hogan to Andre for seconds. Ted DiBiase was awarded it by Andre. Of course, Ted DiBiase was stripped of it because at the time in storyline they didn't win the belt that way. A tournament happened for WrestleMania 4 where Randy Savage won this, and it took, for the next 10 years, it took on a life of its own, being held by the 4 men that I've just mentioned, and then it went to the likes of the Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, the Undertaker, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, the mighty Yokozuna, Bob Backlund has won it as well, Big Daddy Cool, Kevin Nash as Diesel, Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, and the last person to hold this is actually Stone Cold Steve Austin. He famously won this at WrestleMania 14. The next night on Raw, it got turned into the Big Eagle, but this, for the 10 years that this was on TV, it certainly had its history. As people know, when it was in the Ultimate Warrior's hands, it went through several different color straps as well. Those are available on WWE Shop. They are actually quite cool to have for nostalgia reasons. People know that this also came out this year, actually in 2025. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens were facing each other at Saturday Night's Main Event, and Cody Rhodes got to bring out the updated E version, so it was a nostalgia thing for him to not wear the current version of the WWE Championship and bring this out, and it was so very cool to see. And in all honesty, Cody Rhodes looked fantastic in this Winged Eagle. And yeah, there's nothing else really more I can say about it than this is an absolutely lovely looking belt, and I'm going to look forward to reviewing it. Now onto the WCW version of the Big Gold. As you can see, decked out in gold. As I say, it's a 1999 version, so the strap is very the plates are actually very flat. The strap is very flat as well, in all honesty, but other than that, it is a lovely looking belt. It has got Booker T's nameplate on it. As many people know, it came out in the mid-80s when Ric Flair was wrestling for Jim Crockett Promotions, or at least a version of this came out then, and it was the NWA/WCW World Heavyweight Championship up until, '91, when Ric Flair took a version of this back, took it to the WWF at the time. It was still under NWA rules, and Ric Flair asked WCW to give him the $25,000 deposit. The big wigs at WCW chose not to do that, so Ric Flair brought a version of this onto TV with him, and it disappeared. The big gold disappeared for a couple of years and made its way back to WCW under the International Heavyweight banner that was won by Sting, Rick Rude, and Ric Flair himself. And then eventually in 1994, when Hulk Hogan was signed by WCW, the first match that he had at Bash at the Beach, he beat Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is the all gold version, which was the last official WCW World Heavyweight Championship. But this actual big gold itself has been won by the likes of, like I say, like Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, Sting, Bill Goldberg, Randy Savage, the Giant, aka the Big Show / Paul White, Bret the Hitman Hart, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, and a couple of names that I'm not even going to mention because they don't deserve to be in the category, but we know who they are. A certain actor and a certain creative person. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, famously winning this, and the last proper official WCW World Heavyweight Champion when WCW closed its doors was Booker T, and that is one of the main reasons why I have the Booker T nameplate on it, because he was the last guy to hold it. But as for this itself, it's had a couple of iterations, that's for sure, in the time that between when Hogan had it all the way up till Hogan last having it for winning it one last time at Bash of the Beach 2000, where it went from being the WCW belt, and then when Hulk Hogan won it when he was part of the New World Order, the main plate obviously had a few graffiti letters done on it when they were classing it as the NWO belt. What they could have done, and this would have been good for merchandise reasons, they could have made an NWO belt, and they could have used this, and they could have brought back the mid-90s WCW belt for the WCW guys. So this could have been a custom NWO belt, and then the one from the 90s could have been for the wrestlers that beat Hulk Hogan. But it is what it is. So this also had two incantations of NWO on it as well that people know about. Hulk Hogan famously having the black spray paint on it, and then when he joined the Wolfpack with Kevin Nash in '99, that famous finger point of doom match, not so famous, it had a red spray paint job as well. In all honesty, the red looked a lot better on it than the black did, in my opinion. But yeah, it certainly had its place in history, that's for sure. And we need to remember as well at one point that when this came over to the WWF WWE in 2001, it eventually merged with the Big Eagle and became a version of the WWF WWE Championship, where it was classed under the Undisputed banner. So it's definitely had its place in history. And if you look at it from one perspective, the WCW belt and the WWF belt were one and the same at one point in history as well. So that's unbelievable, the history that's been here. So yeah, these are two fantastic looking replicas, two fantastic looking belts. The people that I've just named, it's been a who's who in pro wrestling of the guys that have won these respective belts. But anyway, I'm rambling again as usual. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to get into what we're here to talk about today. And of course, that is more replicas. Okay, guys, so here is the in-depth review of the classic WWF block logo Winged Eagle. And I have to say, looking at it like this, it is a beautiful, beautiful looking belt. The guy in me now, the nostalgia guy in me appreciates it for what it is. The guy in me now wishes it was the plates that is currently on WWE Shop, just for the thickness and the 3D effect and everything like that. And yes, I would like the F done in that manner too, but it is what it is, right? Now, let's start at the top. You have a very flat WWF logo with a trademark on that, and it's done with the 3 spikes at the top of that. There is various versions of this where the wings are over the strap. Some of the wings have broken off. Some of these sidebars have broken off here and there. Some of the sidebars are actually attached to the actual main plate itself. Some aren't. These ones are not. These are a separate bit, so these can come off themselves. I have seen an updated version of this E version, and I think the sidebars attached is actually a lot better. But anyway, and then below that you have a very flat, un-3D effect world done in this classic write-in, black and gold representing world. Then behind that you have the sunblast effect, which is, the gapping is there, but it is very flat at the same time. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit unnostalgic when I'm describing this. That is not the case. I do appreciate for what it is, honestly. But sunblast effect going up there too. And then you have the globe done in this beautiful dark blue. I believe the updated version, the blue is a lot lighter, very similar to the blue that they use on the IC Classic. And then you have the eagle spreading its wings. The wings are very, very lovely. If anybody has seen the review on the Undertaker's 30th anniversary winged eagle, please go and check that out. The eagle is a lot more 3D effect. You can actually see the eagle's beak and eyes a lot clearer as well. But the wings look absolutely lovely on the winged eagle here. And then on its chest you have heavyweight banner done in the same writing as the top with a black backing. Several versions of this either have the black backing out or in. I think it looks better staying in. Then either side of the winged eagle you have a sunblast effect with 2 grapplers locking up on either side. The updated version of this, obviously these are a lot more 3D and pop out a lot more. And then you have a little leaf design going underneath that, and on this side here, and then the wrestling champion banner done in black and gold with 2 little globes either side of it, with some stars in there too on the banner. And then you have wrestling champion done in the same writing as the top, but on the updated one, obviously these stars actually bounce out a little bit better. And then you have the rest of the gold plate. and it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, for it being, this is nearly, it's 19 years now, this belt, so it's done really well. It's lasted quite a long time. But anybody that knows anything about this channel, I do look after my belts. So, and then you have the sidebars either side, the 3 points sticking out. You have it on this side too. As I said, this is a separate part from the main plate altogether. Then we go on to the side plates. Both side plates done in a rectangle shape with the sunblast effect going on either side. You have a set of grapplers in the middle, and then you have the leaf effect, reef effect, which is similar to the main plate. Then you have the block WWF logo at the top. And as I say, the sunblast effect is a lot more in depth on the updated versions. And yes, there's a little bit of bow damage here, but that's how the belt came, not by me. That's how the belt came. Then on these side plates as well, similar to the other side, you have a set of grapplers on either, sunblast effect behind them, the leaf reef effect, and then the block WWF logo looking very flat. Then you have the 6th plate with WWF Champion on it. I like this on the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, I believe. They actually had their names on this sometimes. I think it just depended on the belt, on who is wearing it and what belt design they were going for at the time. Then onto the strap, you have a lovely gold tip. This hasn't got any bow damage on it, thankfully. And then the snap box has a classic ripple arrow effect. And then you go into the strap itself. Now keep in mind, it's 19 years of strap, so it is a little bit wear in the strap now, but it's not as bad. It's I did take this with me to WrestleMania 38 to get The Undertaker to sign it. It was in my bag twice, so it's had a bit dent damage in there. But as long as you, from what I've learned, if they're just for display purposes, it's okay. And I honestly do not see me ever getting this replaced, simply because of The Undertaker's signature. And thankfully, that is still staying. On the strap itself, you have the classic shell-shaped border going all the way through the belt, all the way through the plates to the other side. And then on here, you have the Snapbox classic arrow effect with the Undertaker signature. Little fun fact, when I got the Undertaker to sign this, anybody that has been to those kind of meets and greets for signage purposes, the wrestlers don't have time to just say to interact with you as what they could do at like a WrestleCon. And I actually had no questions for the Undertaker. I just had a thank you for WrestleMania 13, where he won the belt for the second time, this version of the belt a second time, and for WrestleMania 14 with Kane. And he completely forgot about WrestleMania 13. Even though he was the main event, he won the championship, the legendary pose with him in the ring and the belt, and he completely forgot about that. But that was back in 97, so I'll let him off. He laughed at that, so. If we flip it over, the back of the strap, it's insane how good condition the back of the strap still is. Obviously a few bents here and there, but nothing to write home about. The back in the day when the screws were not covered up, then you have the authentic WWE scratch logo flashy, done by Figures Inc., and this was done in 2006. And the strap, like I say, is looking not bad. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a curve, not too bad, not massively, but it is there. But the plates are still very, very flat from back then. Hold it up. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay guys, so here is the in-depth review of the Big Gold WCW World Heavyweight Championship, done in 1999, so please bear with me that the plates are going to be very flat, but it was early days, so yeah, these are flat. There's no getting around this at all. These are flatter than a pancake. But anyway, let's start at the top. So you have World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion done in gold, and this is very flat. The writing's very flat, so it's just been printed on. Unfortunately, no 3D effect to make it pop out. Then below that, you have the classic crown with red rubies and very non-zirconias, just little old school fake little diamonds in the center of the crown. It is what it is. They look good at the time. And then the globe done and very flat as well. Yeah, what times have certainly changed on this belt, that's for sure. Then I have a Booker T nameplate, because with Booker T being the last WCW champion, I thought it was fitting to have him wear this, the last official WCW champion. I would like to try and get a Randy Savage one or a Hulk Hogan one, but I'm quite happy with the Booker T one. And then on the actual belt itself, you have the classic floral pattern going all the way through the belt with red rubies in the middle of the flower pattern, and there's a little gold gap in between them, whereas in the updated version the gaps are actually covered with more of the floral pattern. Then you have the two sets of grapplers, and these are not as detailed as a current version of the Big Gold, but it is what it is. You have the gold white gap in here as well. Man, this is it's so detailed but so flat at the same time. I'm sorry if I'm shitting on it, but or is it if it's coming across that I'm shitting on it. I'm not meaning to. Just I've forgotten how. I've not reviewed this in over a year, so I've forgotten how flat it is. And then you have the first side plate with two grapplers in the middle, and then obviously the gap in there between the white gap in there. Then you have the floral pattern around them with the rubies touching all four corners of the square. And then on the second side plate, same idea, the grapplers in the middle, the gap in gold around them, the floral pattern, and the four rubies on all four bits of the square. And what the Big Gold has as well, what a lot of people remember it for, is through the plates it has an old school rope border. Obviously you can't really make it out here with the flatness of the plates, but it is there. But it is on all three of the plates, goes all the way around here of the Big Gold main plate, and then here on the first side plate. Whereas obviously if MD has got the recent Crimson version, or a recent version of the Big Gold, this, everybody knows that this certainly pops out a lot more now. Then on the strap itself, The strap is on, it's the other way around. I can't remember whether it's the male side or the ladies side, but for at the time, and I believe the other WCW belts that were made in 1999 by Figures, the snapping was on the opposite side. I believe actually the updated version of the WWE one of the WCW Heavyweight Championship, they've flipped it around actually. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But the strap is as basic as they come. Basic black strap with the sewing to keep it all together. No signatures on this at all because I've actually not had a chance to meet. Well, I have met Paul White and I've met Kevin Nash, and I've had the opportunity to meet Scott Steiner, Lex Luger, DDP to actually sign this. But I went, as many people know, I went to WrestleMania this year and I also went to WrestleCon, but I chose not to take a belt with me. Too much hassle. Far too much hassle. And then on the back of the strap, now keep in mind, no flashy on this, no official WCW flashy, but this was made in 1999, so this was one of the first ones. But the back of the strap is so basic, but this was done in 1999. This is now 2025. This has only had 2 owners. Keep in mind, when I first reviewed this, I told you guys that I got this by chance on eBay. I wasn't looking for it, but I just snapped it up and thought, I want this, because as soon as I saw the year, I thought to myself, and I was going to get an eShop version, but for some reason, they've sold out. I have no idea why, but as we know, Fanatics are not the best at restocking stuff, but never mind, especially in the UK. Now, if you actually look at the screws are very unique as well. These are not going anywhere at all. The nameplate can, but these aren't going anywhere, so these are snapped in. And this is an adult version. So, yeah, I'm just going to be cleaning. I just clean this as it is. But, yeah, very unique how they're just snapped in like that. Put you guys down for a second. There you go, guys. So you have the WWF from the mid-90s, WCW from the mid-90s, together as one. And wow, what a difference in size, what a difference in design. But overall, they both look great. So guys, thank you so very much for watching this review on part 1 of my World Heavyweight collection. It has been an absolute privilege reviewing these classic replicas. Sorry for rambling at the start of the video, but I wanted to try and make sure I got as much history out there as possible, just in case there's brand new belt fans out there that don't know the history. But yeah, if I was going to choose between both belts of which is my favourite design, even though the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, have both won these belts respectively at different times of their careers, I think I'm going to have to say the best one for me is, well, the easiest one to hold as well, is going to be the Winged Eagle. Now, yeah, it's definitely the Winged Eagle, but it has a special place in my heart for obviously the history that has and everything like that. But going forward, it has definitely had some upgrades. It's had some unique designs, and it has had a very brand orientated set of replicas. Very brand design as well, as we'll get into as we go on with the series. But yeah, I'm going to get off here just now. Please comment below and let me know which is your favourite between the two. Keep in mind that this was at one point also a version of the WWF WWE Championship as well, when it was combined with the Big Eagle and it was under the Undisputed banner at the time. So this was a version of the WWF Championship at one point as well. But yeah, so as I was saying, comment below and tell me which is your favorite version out of the two belts, or what is your favorite World Heavyweight Championship overall. Is it in the WWF, WWE? Is it in WCW? Is it in ECW? Is it in AWA, NWA, TNA Impact? The whole shebang. Let's get some chat going. And also, if you guys could do me a big favour, if you could like, share, subscribe, do all you need to do to get me out there, it would be very much appreciated, guys. You have no idea how much it would be appreciated. But I'm going to get off here now before I start rambling again. But as I always say, guys, dreams be the journey. You guys take care. All the best. Bye.